This episode of UK Low Carb Podcast is sponsored by Deliciously Guilt-Free. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the latest Tuesday series. For the next few weeks, I'm joined by Katie Caldesi. Now, Katie is a low carb chef and with her husband Giancarlo owns a Caldesi restaurant in Marylebone in London and also in Bray, Berkshire. She also teaches low carb cooking and is a published author, including the most recent publication, the 30-minute Diabetes Cookbook. She also appears regularly in the national press. Each week, Katie will teach me a low-carb recipe, so stay tuned so that you can add that bit of Caldesi magic to your own low-carb creations. I'll now hand over to Katie to see what's cooking today. Welcome back, everyone, to another Tuesday, another episode of UK Low Carb, and I'm joined again by my good friend Katie Caldesi. Hi, Katie. Welcome back to the show.
Hi there. Thank you. Very nice to be here again.
Now, just for those who don't know, so Katie is, well, many things to say about Katie. She's written 15 cookbooks now, and since Giancarlo had his diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, he's now put into remission. They really went into the adventure of looking into low carb and how to make delicious, really tasty food, but just by taking the carbs out. They have 2 restaurants, and in their restaurants they have low carb options, and they tell you exactly how much carb is in the food as well, which I think is quite innovative. That's something you just don't get these days, is it? But yet you are leading an innovation in the restaurant industry, which is amazing. And today you've got another recipe for us, which is, if I get this right, Shopski Cheese. Is that right?
That's right. Shopski Cheese. Yes.
When you said it, I knew Shopska salad, which I guess has got that cheese in it, but I didn't realize that's what the name of the cheese was. So what's your link to Bulgaria?
Well, it's not the name of the cheese. It's the name of the people that live in Sofia in Bulgaria, and they were known as the Shopski people.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So any recipe with Shopski or Shopska in it means that it's from Sofia, the capital city of Bulgaria. And I read about Bulgarian food and I thought, that's something I haven't really delved into before. So just about 2 weeks before the first lockdown, Giancarlo and I took ourselves off to Bulgaria. And we were all talking about this COVID thing, going, it'll never happen. It'll never come over here. And gosh, how awful that would be.
Yeah.
Little did we know. And we got back just into the country just in time.
Barely started it. So I've actually got, through a family connection, there's a link to Bulgaria. And so I went there a few years ago and I didn't know anything about the country whatsoever, but the food is just out of this world. When I got there, I was surprised by how good the food is. It's really fresh. I mean, I've never had vegetables like I have in Bulgaria. Yeah. And then the wines and everything, which you don't seem to get in this country, but it's so cheap. And yet the quality is just fantastic. We're around the Black Sea area. And so,
lovely,
so some of the foods there, and actually really, really good food for low carb as well. I noticed they did a lot of these very rich fatty sauces with meat dishes, and you could kind of avoid the carb options very easily. So,
well, that's what I thought. And when I went there, I tried to explain to people, I'm here on this kind of low carb research, and they didn't know what I meant. So I had to kind of explain like the carbohydrates. I don't want potatoes. I don't want bread. I don't want rice. And they were like, you've come to the wrong place. Our place is very carb heavy. But I thought, no, I really believe I can pick and choose and I can work my way around. And so when I was writing our 30-minute diabetes book, which is all low carb and gluten free, about 10 of those recipes are from Bulgaria. So it was the right place to go. And I would recommend a long weekend in Sofia and Plovdiv, which I love the name of Plovdiv. It's the most fascinating city, absolutely fascinating. Amazing Roman ruins there, great food, quirky shops, really, really lovely. So do have a weekend in Plovdiv.
Love that. Take that on board, everyone. I'll see you there.
So in Bulgaria, they have these lovely dishes, and I'm sure I'll say this wrong, so I will apologize to Bulgarians now, but guvesh is this little beautiful terracotta pots that are hand painted, and they often have a little hole in the top. And you make your Shopski cheese in this dish. So I don't have one. So I'm going to use this little earthenware pot here, which is about the size of my hand. And it is a handmade ceramic bowl. And I'm going to put some foil over the top. So I'm going to make my own guvesh.
Okay.
And then I've got a little enamel dish here, which comes with a lid. And I'm going to use that for the other one. So this serves 2. So
Okay.
I'm going to butter the dish because butter just makes everything taste amazing. But also because then my egg, when I crack my egg into this dish, won't stick to the enamel, or it won't stick to the ceramic dish either. So a bit of butter in the bottom of your dish, which I'm just using my finger to put this on.
And just to say, those dishes, when you're in Bulgaria, they're just stunningly beautiful, aren't they? They've got lovely artwork on them.
And I should have brought one back, but I thought, will I use it? But actually, it turns out, yes, I would have done.
Yeah.
But,
and then you get so many dishes served like that, where they come straight out of the oven to your table, take them out, and they've got these lovely. There's one I had with like a beautiful picture. Actually, I'll find it somewhere. And it's got a chili on top with cheese, and it's just stunningly beautiful food as well.
Yeah, the food's great, isn't it? I would go back to Bulgaria definitely, and as you say, really cheap as well, and very friendly people, and easy to find people who would do tours and food tours for me.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I've just put some onion in the base of both dishes. So this is chopped up onion. And then I'm going to put just a few little cherry tomatoes in the bottom there.
Love it, yeah.
And then on the cherry tomato, I've got 100 grams of feta cheese here, which I'm dividing in half. And I'm going to put half in one dish and half in another. So if you like, there's a buttered dish. It's got onions and tomatoes on top, and it's got a cube, quite a big fat cube of feta cheese on top. And then I'm going to scatter in some cooked ham. This could be bacon if you have like bacon. You could leave this out. You could put a different kind of cheese in. You could put blue cheese in, or a bit of cheddar or something if you don't want to put meat inside. Or you could put yesterday's roast meat. You could put chicken in it, or
Right, I just need to tell people we're actually recording this at 12:20 in the afternoon, and I'm suddenly incredibly hungry.
I'm really hungry too.
My fast isn't feeling like such a good idea now. I just want to break it right away and start eating. So all those things you just said are just my go-to foods. Completely are.
Yeah.
Cheese, meat, onion, tomatoes. Just the flavors of those things are lovely. And the great thing with this is, if you're going more keto, you just would, I guess, not have the onion and the tomato so much or at all. And if you're going a bit more relaxed, low carb, then you can, you've got options to make it your own, which I love about this.
Yeah. So you could have shredded cooked chicken in there as well if you want to bump up the protein.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
perfect.
I've got some chili here. So it's a red chili, and I've just tasted it.
This is perfect for me. Okay, this is my dish now. Okay.
Yeah. I've just tasted it from around the middle of the chili, not the end of the chili, the middle of it, where the seeds and the pith are, to gauge the heat of this. And it's quite hot, so mild to medium hot, I would say.
Chilies are interesting, aren't they? Because I actually had only just yesterday, funny enough, I chopped a chili up and I had some from the tip and it wasn't remotely hot at all. And I thought, this chili's a dud. Then I had some in the middle and it took my head off. So clearly the heat's around the seed area and as you say, the pith.
It's not actually so much in the seeds. That's a bit of a myth.
Oh, is it?
It's in the pith that holds the seeds on, is where the main heat comes from. So you can't, that's why you shouldn't taste it from the edge. You should taste it from around the middle, so you get a good gauge of how hot your chili is, and only then do you know how much to add. So as a recipe writer, I always used to say, add one hot chili, one red chili, or add half a chili. Of course, I have no idea how hot your chili is, so that was daft. So you could also use plum tomatoes in here, a tin of tomatoes or a little bit of passata.
Yeah.
I just think one of them is a bit mean on tomatoes, so I'm going to add a bit more in there.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is crack an egg. Just slightly down to one side. Yeah, and in this one, this bit slightly bigger bowl, I could put 2 eggs in there if I wanted to. So if you want this as your nice brunch or something, you might want to put 2 eggs in there. Then those are done. All I need to do is put a little bit of pepper and salt on top. And again, you probably don't need too much salt because you've got feta in there.
Yeah.
And you've got a bit of ham in there as well. But I think, an egg without salt is like music
wrong,
without,
isn't it? Yeah.
Or dancing without music, rather. So, you just need a bit of salt on an egg. And so a bit splashed around there. And then that's it, really. That's all I'm going to put. I put some parsley on there. I could have put coriander, but I've chosen to put parsley on. And now I'm going to make my lid. So one of them has this little enamel lid.
Right.
So I put that one on. And the other one, I'm going to tuck my foil in and then maybe just leave the foil peeping up a little bit so that it's instead of having a hole in the lid. So these can go into the oven, which is on at 200 degrees fan or 220 without the fan and 425 Fahrenheit or gas mark 7. And they go in for around, let me just remind myself how long they go in for. They go in for around 20 minutes. But my little one in the enamel might be a bit quicker.
I mean, that's almost like a meal in its own right, isn't it? All in just one dish,
It was this lady, Svetlana, gave it to us as a breakfast, actually.
Right.
But she said her son often has it, and then he puts 2 or even 3 eggs into his bowl to make it more substantial. And she used little tiny chilies, and she just put the chili on the side. So it's sort of, the flavour pervades through the Shopski cheese, through this little dish, but it's not, if you want to, you can just remove it.
Yes.
But I didn't have a little chili. I only had this sort of very big one. So that's why I put that one in instead.
Wonderful. So now that's in the oven, I imagine the smells are going to be incredible. I mean, I'm on the listeners on this one. I can't actually smell, but I would imagine the smell's going to be incredible. So let's just now wait 20 minutes, and when it's ready, it'll come out, and we'll see what the results are. So now, by the power of the technology we have, we've now skipped forward that 20 minutes, and now we're going to see what the Shopski cheese looks like. So Katie's now bringing it out of the oven, and all the little dishes. I can't wait to see what they look like inside. I really can't. I've got imagination, and I can just think, yeah, they're going to be delicious. The cheese is going to be melted. There'll be crispy bits of onion and bacon, and I'm about to chew my arm off here. So I can't obviously wait. Well, yeah, I was absolutely fine for this recording. I don't know what happened. I'm suddenly now really, really starving. So
I was going to say it's the smell of the food, but it's not, because you can't smell it.
No, it's the imagination of the smell of the food, I think. So, okay, these are your dishes. Let's have a little look then.
So into the little one. So this was the little enamel dish.
Ooh.
So you can see here that the tomatoes have sort of melted down in here, and the egg is cooked. So as I just cut into that, you can see the egg in there, and I can smell bacon, onions. Well, not bacon, but it was ham. I
don't know how,
ham.
but I can too, and I'm not even there. But it's just my brain is saying, "Come on, eat some of this." That looks incredible, Katie.
I think I might have to eat some because my mouth is watering. And this is the other one.
I feel gutted for you. I really do.
This is the other one. The egg is very soft, so it depends on how you like it. You could put that back in, but there's the yolk running into the rest of the mixture. And what happens with the feta cheese is that it goes soft and sort of spongy. So I might just have to try a bit of that feta cheese and a bit of the egg that's hot, slightly more done here, rather than burn myself on that one. So I took my smaller one out.
You could do a big kind of tagine type sort of pot thing as well for like a family get together, couldn't you? And just have it on the table to serve up, and everyone take a spoonful of it. Is that good?
Mm.
Great. Okay. Well, as we've just lost Katie now because she's enjoying a meal.
My Shopski cheese.
I'm definitely coming over now. So that's the Shopski cheese.
How easy is that? Why were we not doing that for years? Why have I never discovered that dish before? You know, it's amazing. And
it's so easy, isn't it?
Big family one, you could put lumps of sort of cooked spinach in it, cooked and squeezed spinach to bump up the vegetables a bit.
Oh, spinach and blue cheese would be amazing.
I know. It just, once you get that, you think, actually, it took me 10 minutes to put that together, 20 minutes cooking time maximum. The little one was only about 14 minutes.
Wonderful. So everyone just listening, I want to say that's our episode for today, the Shopski cheese. According to Katie, it tastes delicious and smells delicious. And from the looks, I think it looks stunning. So I want to say a massive thank you for today's episode, Katie. And before we go, what's going to be our next recipe next week?
I want to show you how to make cauliflower couscous. It's a vibrant dish full of colour, flavour, spices that will rival a traditional couscous anytime.
Fantastic. I can't wait. So you've had the brown bread, you've got the Shopski cheese, and now some couscous as well. Thank you, Katie. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you, and you. Thank you.